What's good, everyone? Michael here at Summer Game Fest, and I just got done playing an hour of Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. It's the epitome of you gotta go fast, and if you're a Sonic sicko, I think you're gonna love this one. I want to start by explaining the CrossWorld mechanic. So when you go into a race, the first lap is on the track you select. The second lap, the first place racer gets to choose where that goes, and that's where you get the crossing worlds right there. So it has this unpredictable layer to how the race is going to play out. You might be flying through different worlds, racing through water, or going through space. You kind of don't know what you're going to get. And then the third lap returns to the track that you selected. So it has like this dynamic element, and it's a lot of fun, and it has like this really big visual spectacle, and there's a lot of Sonic references tapped into that. So I think that's one of my favorite aspects of races, so it doesn't feel like monotonous and then you're just selecting a track and you're going through it for the entire race. All you Sonic sickos are going to love the references that are in this, but from a kart racing perspective, there are a lot more layers to it where you kind of build your car for your character. So you got all your fan favorites. I was playing as Shadow. I love Shadow, so that was my guy. Amy's in there. I hope Rouge the Bat is in there at some point. But when we're talking about performance, you can actually tweak your car in many ways. If you want to emphasize acceleration or not getting bumped around so you have more power, or if you want pure speed, there are some layers to this where you can like tweak your performance and really build the kind of kart that you want. But there are also a lot of power-ups. This being a kart racer, you have all kinds of weapons that you can use and speed boosts, and there's like speed boosts on the track. And I also like that there's a level of verticality. So throughout the tracks, there are multiple paths throughout the whole track from lap to lap, and there's a lot of different branching paths that you can go. And then sometimes you're flying, sometimes you're using the hovering board, sometimes you're surfing through the level, so it adds a lot of variety. Even though you're still kind of racing through a track, visually at least, there's a lot of variety, and I love how much of a spectacle it is. One thing I will say is that when it comes to like drifting and navigating the track, it's not quite as smooth as, say, a Mario Kart, right? We just got Mario Kart World, so it's going to be competing head-to-head with that. So there is a bit of a, I don't want to say sluggishness, but you have to get used to it. It takes some time adjusting to the way particularly Sonic Racing CrossWorlds works as opposed to a Mario Kart. But once you get the hang of it, you start to get the flow, and it does feel really good. And it is exciting to have a kart racer that is specifically for the Sonic universe, because there's so many characters to celebrate, and also the crossover characters is what I'm excited about. Now, this demo did not have any of the crossover characters, but we have seen it already with a lot of the footage that Sega has put out for this game. So my boy Kasuga Ichiban is in this thing, and I loved playing Dragon Kart in Yakuza Like a Dragon, so this is basically an extension of that. But also Joker from Persona 5, Hatsune Miku, who is, I love her so much, that's my girl. So I think the thing is like, yeah, if you love Sonic, you want to play this, but the way Sega is also incorporating a lot of their other franchises is kind of an exciting element to it. For me, it's, yeah, I'm going to peep this game because there are other Sega characters that I love, and so you get that extra element to it. It feels like a celebration of a lot of Sega's franchises, not just Sonic, and it's a ton of fun. Another question I have is the longevity of this game too, right? Because you can only race in normal races for so long. So I'm curious to see what other kind of modes that they have, how much they're going to support the game with DLC or future updates. And as fun as the fundamentals are, that's kind of what you expect out of these games nowadays, is how they're going to get support after the fact. And I didn't have access to any of the other modes, so I don't have any answers for you. But what I do know is that fundamentally Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, I think it's got the sauce, but we'll see when it comes out later this year. Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is so much chaotic fun, and you won't have to wait long to get your hands on it. And if you want to keep up with the game, stick with IGN.